All right, Miss Normal Everyday Gal, I was going to ignore you because I just responded in the comments and I didn't think that you were worthy of a video response. But your constant use of the word narcissist as a way to dispel me as a victim of abuse, also as a way of upholding like the perfect abuse victim trope and the idea that you can only be abuser or a victim and not both, is something I need to talk about, and we'll address the rest of your comments. I initially responded to your comment by saying, hey, this is a really condescending comment. Why would you feel the need to explain my trauma to me, something that I lived in a video where I was explaining it? Please don't leave comments like this for victims, especially not me. So just sending a boundary. I wasn't rude. I just said what I needed and I told her how I felt, all right? And she decided to respond with this. Oh, hun, you have no clue. That was not condescending. Bless your little heart. Now I'm condescending, thinking you're the narc problem now. One, this shows me that you don't really understand how abuse dynamics work. When someone is abused, they experience a severe level of trauma. You know what that trauma leads to oftentimes, especially if you have a genetic predisposition or neurodivergence happening? Oftentimes it leads to CPTSD, which is also the cause for personality disorders, specifically cluster B personality disorders. That's why there's so many people that have BPD that are also autistic and ADHD, and same with MPD. So when we decide to pathologize and label someone as a narcissist or having BPD or any other personality disorder as a way to label them as the sole abuser in every situation that they live in and incapable of being a human being that is able to have feelings or love people or whatever, we are being ableist. So you are being incredibly ableist. And two, people are capable of changing. What happens is people are abused and then they either have the skills or access to the tools to break that cycle, or they internalize those beliefs and they have these really harmful beliefs about themselves that then it becomes too painful to confront. So instead they lash out at other people and end up abusing them. That doesn't mean that their behavior is okay. I'm not at all saying that it's okay. But this idea that you can only be the abuser or only be the victim is inherently false, and it harms victims by making it seem like they have to be perfect and act the way that we expect them to all the time for them to be a real victim, which is exactly what you did to me in my comments. And what's really funny is that you demonstrated this also with your comment, because you were clearly triggered. Your trauma and your defense mechanisms were triggered when I tried to set a boundary with you because I didn't use an overtly kind tone of voice because you didn't deserve it. You then chose to tell me that what I was feeling was wrong and not true. You chose to tell me that now you're being condescending and saying bless your heart, and then accused me of being a narcissist and pathologizing me publicly on a platform. And then when I responded, which you can go back to the thread, you can see my responses. I have nothing to hide here. I explained that actually, I have made a ton of content around this. I'm telling you it's condescending, and now you're gaslighting me. You are now using Darvo in my comments when you're saying that you're a supposed victim. Oh, but I thought victims couldn't use Darvo. I thought victims couldn't have trauma responses that appear as abuse. Isn't that what you're implying here? Oh, wait. It's actually more complicated than that. Imagine that actual nuance. And I explained that for trauma victims that are sharing their experience, it can be incredibly frustrating when we come on platforms like this, we share our experience and people explain it back to us or try to tell us what we're experiencing when we don't ask for it. That's not what we're here for. It's hard enough to speak as a victim about the experiences that you've had and the abuse that you've endured. We don't need more shaming or condescension from people who are also apparently victims. And then you proved my point again by in your last comment getting especially snarky because I told you I hope you have the day you deserve because you weren't being open to listening to what I was saying. And by the way, it's only insults to say have the day you deserve if you know that you're not deserving of a good day. And so you respond with, I have wonderful days. Oh, very defensive there. Okay. Blessed. Happy. And accuse me, of being a narcissist after saying you survived a real narcissist, because apparently only you, Miss Ma'am, only you are capable of determining who real narcissists are or not. I have a question. Are you a licensed mental health professional? Do you have the licensure that allows you to diagnose people? I don't think that you do. And if you do, you would know that it's against ethics to diagnose anybody that you have not had a personal, individualized session with. So for you to imply that you know somebody who's a real narcissist and my person in my life is not a real narcissist, even though I've never claimed that they are, by the way, because I don't like pathologizing and using that word because, again, so misunderstood, and it's so actually harmful for healing within this community and recognizing how the cycle of trauma works. You then try to flip the insult back on me saying, I hope you have the day you deserve, huh? Hun, bless your little heart. You are now dismissed. Girl, this is my page. This is my account that you're commenting on. This is some boomer ass behavior if I've ever seen it in my life. Actually, this is some white people shit. There's no other way to say this. This is white woman tears at its finest. It is my profile. It is my page. If you're upset with what I'm saying, you can block me. You can delete your comments. You don't get to dismiss me from my page. And I hope that after this, you do go delete your comments because they're embarrassing and they're harmful to victims. They're harmful to the people that you are claiming to represent, and it's upsetting to watch as a victim myself. Have the day that you deserve. And to make it clear what type of day I think you deserve, I hope your towels also never dry all the way.